Hello and welcome. You're watching Outlook Money Interviews, and in this brand new episode of Outlook Money Interview, we are delighted to be joined by Mr. Pavan Gupta, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Muthoot Housing Finance. So, thanks, Mr. Pavan, for joining us and talking to us. So, before I come to subject-specific issue, I would like to put an overall question to you. Do you think that the crisis in the real estate sector is ending anytime soon?
The various initiatives which have been taken by the government, right, be it in the budget or even there have been many announcements post budget. I feel that this is a step in the right direction. Will it end soon? It doesn't look so, but I think it will start. The recovery process will start, unless and until something again major disruption happens. I will not say they are enough, but there are plenty of them, right? So this will be an ongoing process, wherein as time passes, as there are learnings which industry shares with the government, and government has been very proactive in at least listening to the feedbacks from the industry and taking the necessary steps whichever are possible to be taken.
So, amidst the ongoing economic downturn, how do you gauge the downturn in the real estate sector in general and housing sector in specific?
So it goes without saying that there has been a downtrend, and it is not necessarily specific to real estate. If we see the GDP for the quarter ending June, came down to 6-year low of 5%, right? And so that is a clear indication of the overall economy going down. However, real estate is something which is a part of the whole system, and the last few quarters we have obviously seen things slowing down, and slowing down for various reasons. Economic activity did have an impact, but apart from that there were other reasons also, like the liquidity crisis, which probably aggravated the challenges on the real estate.
So there are also allegations on the government that various disruptions introduced by the government, like demonetization, GST, real estate regulatory authority, that came into play. These all disruptions have somewhere halted the operation of the real estate sector, and that is a reason that real estate sector faced a huge liquidity squeeze. So would you be agree with this fact, and what would be your comment on that?
So I would put it this way, that these were all bold steps which were taken by the government. At least we have to appreciate that these really required a lot of guts to take these decisions. It is very tough to time anything, right? And these bold steps which were taken, any point of time whenever you implement it, right, they will cause disruption, right? Because India in a way was used to working in a certain way. Lot of informal stuff was happening. All these steps which have been taken will benefit the country in the longer run, and will get formalization of the economy, right, which was really needed for the country, because the way we were going about, and with the country growing the way we are, one of the fastest growing economies in the world with a large population, that could have had its own set of problems. So whether it was to be done now or whether it was to be done later on, right, any which ways that was going to create certain disruptions, right? So it is better that you start off something which is inevitable to be done at some point of time, and face the consequences right now. And of course, these, as I mentioned earlier, it goes without saying, in the longer run will definitely benefit not only the economy, it would benefit the common man, the individuals. With, for example, RERA coming in, confidence of the people will go up in the while taking a buying decision.
And secondly, my next question is that we have seen that firstly we were facing a liquidity squeeze problem. Now many experts are of this opinion that we are facing a spending problem, that people are not willing to spend. So it's a sentimental problem. So what do you think, in collaboration with the government, what the real estate sector players can take actions to boost the sentiment of the consumers or the people?
So you are right. Real estate, because of the decisions of demonetization or GST did have a impact on the whole value chain, and with the with the RERA coming in, with the form, and this got coupled with the fact that there was an overall slowdown not only in India, in the global economy also, right? So we are no more in a situation where we can get ourselves isolated from the global economy, right? With the trade war between US China, and if you see, close to 90% of the economies across the world are facing a slowdown. Even if you see, the recently the GDP forecast for the world was reduced from 3.2 to 3. So all these things, coupled with what happened in India, led to real estate also getting affected. Apart from that, I think the liquidity crisis which happened also played a significant role in the real estate getting a hit. So if you see, the builders were falling short of money, they were not able to get project funding. The sales for the under construction property was really struggling. Apart from that, the disbursements of some of the cases which were already sold, who were in partly disbursed, they also got hold up because of some of the companies not for disbursing the subsequent disbursement. All these things led to a situation where the intention of the builder may be very good, but he is not able to complete the project. This all has resulted in a situation wherein the investors or the consumers' confidence in buying an under construction property is really shaken up, right? So a person does not want to really buy an under construction property. So right now, whatever the transactions are happening on the real estate side are primarily end user driven, and uh, I think it will take some time for the investor confidence to come back, because the property prices are not appreciating at the moment. Doesn't look also that in the short term they will appreciate, right? So this will have a direct correlation on the overall economic situation, and when economy starts growing and lot of corrections or which was to happen in the real estate side is already underway. So this will also come to an end at some point of time, and I'm sure by the time the economy also would start looking up, and both put together should get back real estate on track.
So let us talk about affordable housing. When we talk about affordable housing, this government claims that they have made huge strides in this direction. So would you be agree on that fact that like the scenario of affordable housing in India?
See, this affordable housing as a terminology was only became more relevant after Housing for All was announced by Prime Minister. Housing for All by 2022 was announced by the Prime Minister in 2015. It goes without saying that the housing shortage in India is huge, right? And when we say housing shortage, it also factors in that presently the people are living in very, very bad conditions, right? And in order to meet up this demand, right? So it started off in 2015. A lot of policies, a lot of implementation happened, and being such a large country, it takes some time to really kick off, right? So I would say that it took some time to kick off, and uh, uh, now affordable housing is in the radar of everybody, right? Be it big builders, be it small builders. So with this, earlier the problem was on the supply side. When this scheme started, there were not many projects around where people could buy, because affordability was not there, right? So it started off with small builders getting into this affordable housing, where they started constructing projects in the peripheries of the town, and making the unit size smaller so that people can afford it. And subsequently, the bigger builders also jumped into the fray. This was supported with the CLSS scheme under PMAY, and again I would say that took some time for people to understand even the institutions to understand. And I would say in the last 1.5 year now, it is well understood. People are also well aware about it, and people are, because when we do the financing now, we see that people asking for it, right? Of course, as an organization, we always had been doing that. Any customer who is eligible for it, even if he knows or doesn't know, right? We at Muthoot Housing used to tell him that, okay, you are eligible for this CLSS scheme, so we will forward your proposal to NHP for the subsidy claim. So that has helped. There is construction linked beneficiary scheme, which generally does not get talked about, right? And I have seen in smaller towns and cities people making good availment of it, where they get up to 1.5 lakh rupees of loan for constructing their own house. So all these things have led to a significant supply of the affordable houses. Even in bigger cities, you see the sizes of the flats have started shrinking, right? And I would say that was primarily to fit in into the government various initiative of availing the tax benefit, and also making it affordable for the people, right? So earlier the trend was of bigger flats, now that has started coming down. So all these things are things in a positive sign, and you see in the last few years a lot of affordable housing finance companies have started coming in, right? So and these all affordable housing finance companies cater to the customer which are not catered by the normal banking channel, because they do not probably have a formal income proof, right? So that is one big thing which has started happening. And the this particular affordable segment, where people do not have a formal income proof, has been going very very fast compared to the normal housing scheme. So of course this got a little hit because of the liquidity crunch, right? So this got aggravated. Had this not happened, I think we would have been in a different scenario as far as the affordable housing is concerned.
And recently, government allocated 25,000 crore as an alternative investment fund. Do you think that this fund is enough to spur the completion of stalled projects in India?
So my perspective is that things right now had come to a standstill, right? And liquidity was a big problem for these builders. They had, let us say, some project is completed up to 90%, and for the reasons I mentioned earlier, the cash flows were not coming in, and because of that the project got stalled, right? And they were not seeing any signs of any funds coming in from any sources. So at least with the creation of this fund, one thing is, there are a lot of inventory which probably is in a very advanced state of construction, where the money is blocked, right? Will at least free up those units from the stalled project category. People will get their home, banks will start getting their repayment, right? And this has a very cascading effect. Not only in this, it will generate a huge amount of employment in the real estate, and also various ancillary units which are associated. So I would say that this would be 5x of what the amount is. And over and above, it is not that it is restricted to 25,000 crore, right? This amount can go up, and somehow I am very confident, considering the potential what it is, and the number of, like, sovereign funds can invest, pension fund can invest, domestic financial institutions can invest, right? And it makes good business proposition also for them. So I see that this is a great step, and this fund could get bigger and bigger with every passing day also.
Thank you, Mr. Pavan Kumar.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.